Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Monomyth Diaries, a podcast where ordinary people get to share their hero's journey. I'm Mandi.
And I'm Karen, and we'll be your hosts.
We'll discover powerful insights, critical moments of growth, and much more.
Thanks for joining us. We all have a monomyth to share, and someone out there needs to hear it. Welcome to the Monomyth Diaries bonus edition.
Recently we have been talking with a number of women who are going through midlife, and the term perimenopause and menopause keep coming up in these conversations. And those are relatively new words for me, Karen.
I'll be honest, perimenopause was a brand new word for me. Like, what is that? In my mind, isn't menopause like a switch when your period just ends? I had to learn that the whole thing is a process, and perimenopause is the phase before menopause actually takes place.
Karen and I were talking about how we find it interesting that a lot of us are exposed to this idea of coming into womanhood from our parents or through the school system. For me, I learned through my sister, really. I learned about coming into womanhood, the idea of a menstrual cycle, through my sister and through the public school. How about you?
So my parents didn't really have that discussion with me. Certainly not my dad. I think my mom sat down with like this medical anatomy book, and the way she explained it to me was so clinical that it took me ages for the coin to finally drop. My public school background did not cover this part of life. Like we talked about, again, like, you hit puberty, you're an adolescent, you're going to start having a menstrual cycle, and, you can get pregnant, and then menopause happens, and then it just stops. But definitely not what perimenopause and what menopause actually looks like.
Oh, interesting. I don't know that we had ever talked about menopause. I don't know that I had heard that word until I was about 25. So part of my sex education, really from my siblings and my public school, really just talked about, you have this menstrual cycle and you can have babies and
Yes.
what all that looked like. But the word menopause never came up. I never even thought about, does this ever end? Like I never thought about it. And like I said, until I was about 25, the first time I'd ever heard the word menopause. And even then I really didn't know what that meant.
No.
Until recently. I thought it meant menopause was your coming into your inability to have children anymore. I didn't realize it was a process. There was a perimenopause and then a menopause. I had no idea that those two were different.
Yes. My running joke is like back in the 80s, you used to see the Maxi Pad commercials, and you'd see the little test tube with the blue liquid. It's a tiny little thing. And then they poured it on and like, that's your period and that's it. And I remember being shocked, like, what? It's 7 days and it looks like a massacre. Same thing. Your body does this. You have your childbearing years, and then you hit menopause, and then it's all over, and not realize like, oh no, the hot flashes and all of this. And I learned
Sleepless
about these
nights,
sleepless nights, all that stuff. I'm learning about this because women around me are sharing those stories with me. And then it hit me like, why do I not know this? Why is this not more common knowledge? Why are not more people talking about it? And I'm thinking, my mom, she's in her 70s. She still hasn't talked to me about menopause or perimenopause to this day. And I'm not blaming her. I just realized, there's something in our culture that either we're not comfortable discussing it, or is this a whole new frontier? So hence, it's so important for me to hear from other people their experiences so I can be prepared, we can be prepared, or to know I'm not alone.
I know. I am so grateful for my friends and family and their openness. They're talking about this so openly with me because I'm learning so much from their experiences as they go through it, especially with some of my older friends who have already done it.
This episode, we would love to ask you, our listeners, if you have a perimenopause or menopause story to share, please reach out to us. We would love to feature you on our podcasts and keep this line of discussion open.
Thank you for joining us on the Monomyth Diaries. If this episode resonates with you or someone you know, we'd love for you to share it and spread the inspiration.
Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube to stay connected.
We'd appreciate if you could take a moment and rate and review the podcast. It helps us reach more people with stories of transformation and growth.
You can visit us at monomythdiaries.com or text us directly from the show notes to reach out and keep the conversations going.
Until next time, heroes, let's journey together through our monomyths.